Hi everybody, welcome back to the Fatman's Guide. Now today, the Fatman's Guide is going to do something a little bit different. Again, before I get things going, thank you to all you guys who have been supporting me. Thank you for you guys who have subscribed. Again, we would love to have you subscribe. If you like the video, please like. Also share. We'd love to have you share the video. So like I said, we really appreciate you following the channel, and any input, comments, please send them in. Today, the Fatman's Guide is going to go old school. And what I mean by old school is we're going to be talking about retro gaming. In particular, I want to talk about the NES. And what I decided I wanted to do was kind of give you a background into some of these games, and then play the game and you know, show you guys you know, how difficult it is, and maybe some of the things to be able to beat and what to expect in the video game when you're playing it. Now today, I wanted to start with what I think is one of the best games of all time. It's one of the most difficult games, and it is also one of the best games on most lists. And that game is Contra. Now, Contra is considered one of the greatest games of all time. It's seen by the IGN ranking of 12th all time, and some people put even higher than that. Contra was put out in 1987 by Konami, and of course it's a run and gun platformer. You can see down at the bottom, speed run of almost just under 10 minutes. Now the game itself is your basic aliens come to Earth and rip the living hell out of everyone. And one of the cool things I always like about it is if you look at the box art, you can see three major movie franchises shown there. You can see the movie Aliens. You can also see Arnold Schwarzenegger-esque Commando. And if you look at the man with the head bandana and red wrapped around him, that is a Rambo-style individual. Now, of course, when we get into this game, being a very, very difficult game, one of the first things that you will, of course, want to learn, unless you're one of those bad arses that's just absolutely amazing at this game, is the Konami code. The Konami code gives you 30 lives to start off with, which, trust me, you're going to need these. And you can see the code. I've put it there for you. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start. That's the code you want to know for these really tough Konami games. Okay, so now we end up at the title screen. You would put your code in at this point, and you would select if you want one or two players. I would say you really want to go one player. The timing is so tough that if you go two player, it's really difficult to beat this game. Now the first level is the jungle. It's pretty straightforward. The first difficult thing you're going to have is these little bridges that will blow up before, just as you're on them. And of course, you see me here using the scatter gun. This is the best weapon here. Although I'm not going to lie to you, I keep this weapon for all of about, I don't know, 9 seconds in this game. You're getting hit so often that you've got to be a pretty phenomenal player to be able to keep this gun. Now, when you get to the end of the first level, what I like to do is I like to be able to shoot the cannon on the bottom, climb back up to the top, shoot the man in the top, and then of course work my way down, shooting the second level cannons, and then opening up the gate. When you get into the second level, this one's going to be moving as though you're going through a tunnel. And first thing you understand is you're not going to go forward. You see those electric beams there? They're going to shock you. Don't touch them. You want to know what hell looks like? It's that, right there. Those rollers. When those rollers come out, it's really hard to time your jump in a manner where you're not going to get hit by them. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to scroll side to side while trying to take a target out on the other side of the room. Doing this, you're going to have to dodge attacks from your enemies. You can duck, which is what you can do for most of these shots. With the exception of explosions, your best move is to duck. Now when you get to the end guy, what I like to do is you dodge the attacks, and I like to shoot the bottom level first because of course that's going to allow you to clear it up for the bad guy, which is going to be up in that top dark space. So just take your time working out as many of those bad guys as you can. Get over to the side, because once you do, you want to be able to fire on him the whole time. Now of course, once you can get rid of that cannon, all you have to do is dodge the blue bubbles that he fires out at you. You can take those out with your weapon and continue to try to get your weapon to hit the eye at the very top. And of course, once you are able to do that, you will have defeated the level. You'll go on an elevator and get out of the facility, and now we're on the waterfall level. In the waterfall level, you're going to be climbing vertically up the game screen, again dodging individuals, trying not to get yourself killed. The troops start stepping up big time because obviously you're getting further into the game. Eventually, when you get to the top of the waterfall, you're going to get into another cliffside. You're going to have just a couple enemies to defeat. And then by the time you get to those enemies, you're now going to get to the alien base. Now the best thing you can do here is work on one side, shoot the arm cannons, dodge their weapons as best as you can. Once you get the two arms taken care of, there's only a couple things that he fires. You stand just off to the side of the mouth. You won't get hit by anything, and then all you got to do is shoot up into the side of the mouth, and eventually you'll defeat the defense for the enemy base. Now you're in another tunnel, and you're again working against the enemies that are coming towards you, those stupid freaking rollers. And all you want to do, again, take your time, go through, and again at this point, remember you can't go through the electric. All you can do is continue to work through each segment, trying not to get shot. Now when you get to the end, this is I think one of the easiest bosses. Again, work really slowly and get out the cannons on the bottom. Now the cool thing about this level is if you take your time, the bad guys who come out to the side, if you don't move, they will literally jump right into the way of your weapon. So you'll end up seeing that they'll literally just step right in the way. Now if you move around, it can get a little difficult and they'll start firing from angles and they can beat you. But as long as you take your time, they can do this. Now, once you get to the bad guy, they also fire bubbles, but they're only able to be shot once the four segments line up into two. And what you'll see about the bubbles is the bubbles will actually move around almost like heat seekers and try to find you. Now what you want to do is really focus on one of the two enemy heads. To which point in time that you're able to do that, you take one out, then you can just focus on the last one. And it becomes a lot easier. Again, dodging the bubbles. And remember, this enemy head, which a lot of people kind of call the Transformer head, it's only able to be shot when the two segments have come together. Once you've defeated it, again, you get on the elevator, and now you go back out to the next level. Now this is the snowfield level. On the snowfield level, this definitely gets a lot more difficult. You've got bombs being fired at you, you have a lot more cannons, you again have enemy troops that are coming after you, you've got to dodge a bunch of things in the water. Eventually, the first difficult thing you have to deal with is this tank. Now this tank, if you stand off to the far left, his cannons can't hit you, it'll just touch your foot. Now, as the tank continues to change colors, once it gets red, that's when it's almost defeated. But it's going to start coming at you. If you don't defeat it before it gets to you, it will crush you. Now, at the very end, you're going to end up having this contraption right here, where it's basically going to launch out some little ships, and it's going to drop some bombs on you. You can fire and defeat the bombs. If you got the scatter gun, this is really easy because you can also defeat the enemy ships. Just fire as many rounds as you can, take it out, dodging as many of those little discs as you can, and you'll get through it. Now the next level, we're in the energy level. This one really sucks. You're going to have to dodge a lot of fire cannons. You're obviously going to have a lot more enemies. You're going to have fire coming from the top, from the bottom, from the walls. Of course, if it hits you, you're dead. Again, the biggest thing here is just to take your time. I don't like rushing through this level. I feel like I do pretty good if I just take my time. But you've definitely got to watch what you do. Now when you get to the very end, you're going to have this big hulking dude, and what he's going to do is he's basically going to charge you and try to crush you, and he's going to fire out these little discs. What I like to do is to be able to get as many shots as I can, dodge the discs, and when he starts running at you, just jump over him. Sometimes he'll turn right back around, and if he does, just jump over him again. Of course, once you see him start getting red, you know he's close to dying, then this will open you up to the factory level. Now, in the factory, the enemies aren't near as bad as the rest of the building. You're going to see, you know, exactly what we need. We need all kinds of spikes dropping on us, and of course the normal baddies. So you have to watch the brown color spikes. When you do, you're also going to get these big spike walls that are going to come up. And you'll be running along, won't even see it, boom, it'll just end up coming right at you when you least expect it. So you got to take your time, go through and make sure that you don't hit those walls. You fire at them, it'll end up opening the walls up so you can move through. How about this? This sucks. All right, you got to time it, and then you have a spike wall, so you've got to get that spike wall down before you get to the end. Now this part here, again, I never have any of the cool weapons. You've got to hit that X at the very end. You have a whole lot of troops. You have artillery exploding everywhere. It's unbelievably difficult, especially if you don't have a scatter gun. If you have a scatter gun, this isn't too bad. But all you have to do is get that X right above the door, and once you finally can, you'll open up into the enemy lair. Now, when you get into the enemy lair, we got all kinds of good stuff. First, of course, what do we got here? We got an alien, really kind of a goofy looking alien, and he's going to fire out other little aliens, of which if you can shoot, great. If not, just hop over them and just keep shooting at the head to open up the entrance to the lair. Now, when you get there, you're going to end up seeing these little bad boys on the top, and you're going to go, you know what, Fatman, why do I care about getting those? I'm just going to run past them. Well, you want to shoot them so they'll stop shooting their artillery. Their artillery is like these little things from the movie Alien. This is all movie Alien, and if you don't, they will start being a heat seeker, and they will find you. So you want to try to take them out as quick as you can, or just get away from them. Now, when you get to the end, guess what? We're in the movie Alien. We're going to start getting some of those little aliens flying around coming at us. Alright, so they're going to be crawling all over the floor, they're going to come get us. Now they will run past you if you dodge them. And now here we are, we're at the end. We got aliens on the roof, we got aliens on the ground, we've got these little things spitting things out on the floor. What you want to do is take care of the aliens on the bottom. Because if you can take care of them, you can get close to the heart of the alien entity and you can get it killed. You won't need to kill the ones on top because once you get inside, it's really difficult for them to get you. So now you get in there as far as you can, run at it. Those top aliens cannot get to you. Shoot it in the heart, kill the mother, and you've just won Contra. And of course, at this point, you're able to get into your helicopter, fly off the island as it blows up, successfully escaping and saving the world from the Red Falcon alien menace. Now, as far as this game goes, guys, I really love this game. It's definitely difficult. You know, I went through a full complement of 30 lives. I know there's some people out there that are absolute freak shows. If you really want to succeed at this, you really need the scatter gun. The scatter gun does a great job. Let me tell you what you don't get. Don't get the laser. The laser sucks. It's really powerful, but it sucks. The scatter gun is awesome. I can't keep the scatter gun very long. I always end up getting hit. But again, a great game, definitely a whole lot of fun, and something that if you want to be tested by an old school Nintendo classic, Contra is definitely the one to do. So there you go, folks. Contra. Great game, a lot of fun. Once you get some of the patterns down, it's not too difficult to beat. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if there's particular games that you might be interested in me seeing, maybe I can beat them, maybe I can't. If I can't, then we can just watch me fail miserably at the game. And as always, folks, get out there and experience life to the fullest without excuses. See ya.